Hello everyone, Logan from Curated Avalon, and today I have the Thomas Jefferson pen from relicpens.com. Now, I first found this company on Instagram a few months ago and saw that they had these fantastic historical related pens and was very intrigued. So this maker takes reclaimed wood from historical sites or historical things such as battleships and such, and makes things from this wood. This particular pen was made from poplar wood from Thomas Jefferson's poplar forest on his historical property where sits Monticello. This was very cool to me. I would love to get the George Washington one as well. And I know he has several others, but the Thomas Jefferson one was the one that spoke to me first and foremost because it's actually my earliest memory of wanting to deviate from the normal ballpoint pen. I was absolutely fascinated with the fact that our Declaration of Independence here in America was written with a quill and ink as opposed to any form of modernized utensil for writing. So Thomas Jefferson was kind of my movement towards trying something new in terms of a writing utensil. I made my own walnut ink and quills when I was little and just really enjoyed it. I wasn't any good at quill making, but I used them and I enjoyed it. It was quite fun. So this is just kind of a happy memory for me, and I like to think about it when I look at this pen now. So yes, this was just something special for me. Anyway, the actual pen itself has an acrylic cap and a wooden body. As I said, this is made from wood from Thomas Jefferson's poplar woods. The nib is a number 5 Bach nib, and I have to say it writes for me like kind of a fine moving towards a medium. If I can get it to focus. There we go. Using a Noodler's ink, so a wetter ink for sure. Very comfortable. It was a little scratchy at first, and I just ran it over some micro mesh and smoothed it out, and have not had an issue since. Oh, actually, I did want to note the grip section. So the grip section does match the acrylic on the cap, and just the shape of it. Initially, I was a little worried, thinking that it was not going to be comfortable. I have not had an issue with it. It's been very comfortable for me. I just thought, it didn't really have much to it, much shaping, and I just initially thought, that's not going to be comfortable. I was completely wrong. The tapering of the pen adds to the balance. It's comfortable for me. I've written with it for a few hours at a time. And really, as far as fatigue goes, I really did not get fatigued. I was kind of surprised, just because usually metal pens are my go-to. When I don't want my hand to be fatigued, that extra weight is really helpful, but there was something about the balance in this particular pen. It's very comfortable for me. So, just a little bit about the presentation of the pen. I thought this was excellent, very giftable. Not only do you get this lovely sleeve, he also included a lasered box, and this was quite cool in my opinion because he lasered on the inside the actual details as to the wood. So very giftable. Also something I would just like to have. I think this can sit on my desk and I will enjoy it, and I can choose to keep the pen in the sleeve in the box, or just the pen in the box without the sleeve. I've actually been using the sleeve mostly because I've been traveling with this pen more than I expected. I thought this was going to sit on my desk, and no, I've been taking it everywhere with me. So I've actually been using the sleeve, and it protects it very well. I just slide it in more when I'm not going to be using it, because it fits in there quite firmly. So it can be a little difficult to get out if you shoved it all the way in, but that's what you want when you're traveling. You want it to be safe. Having the signature of Thomas Jefferson lasered into the acrylic cap, I mean, that's just fantastic. I love it. So moving on to how the pen itself writes and how comfortable, I'll be doing a writing sample with Noodler's Rome Burning. So this was a new addition to my ink collection. I thought it was most appropriate as it had Thomas Jefferson on the label, and I think the color ended up being quite appropriate to the pen. So just a little bit of context for this bottle. I do believe that this ink has been renamed. I think it's called Gold Coin now. I personally thought Rome Burning was pretty cool, but Gold Coin is appropriate to the color as well. So we do have a quote from Thomas Jefferson: "A wise and frugal government, which shall restrain men from injuring one another, shall leave them otherwise free to regulate their own pursuits of industry and improvement, and shall not take from the mouth of labor the bread it has earned." Thomas Jefferson, first inaugural address given at the Capitol Building, Washington, D.C., Wednesday, March 4th, 1801. And then, of course, we have the aqua shading ink of flames burning Rome's purple. Moving on to a quote from Andrew Jackson: "The powers and privileges possessed by the existing bank are unauthorized by the Constitution, subversive to the rights of the states, and dangerous to the liberties of the people. To acknowledge its force is to admit that the bank ought to be perpetual, and to be established a privileged order, clothed both with great political power and enjoying immense pecuniary advantages from their connection with the government." Andrew Jackson, veto of legislation chartering the Bank of the United States, 1832. And we have excess liquidity will reveal the patrician color. And we have Benjamin Franklin: "He that lives upon hope will die fasting. Buy what thou hast no need of, and before long thou shalt sell thy necessaries. Lying rides upon debt's back. He that goes a-borrowing goes a-sorrowing." We could always count on Benjamin Franklin for a little witty quip. Of course, it goes into silver, 44 BC, and we have Caesar. "Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, whether it be gold, silver, brass, or cashless." The greatest typo in history, the founders apparently meant the Bill of Privileges instead of the Bill of Rights. I like this label. I think some people find it to be controversial. I find it more thought-provoking than controversial. I suppose thought-provoking can in turn be controversial, but it just makes me think a little bit. But I like the label. I'll be interested to see if it gets changed very much or if it remains pretty much the same but is just renamed. So I will be using this ink, and what is unique about this ink is that it actually seems to have a purple base, but it goes on kind of this gold tan color and dries that color as well. All right, so I will just grab a book and swab. I'll go ahead and swab this. I think it'd be nice to swab and then write a sample with the pen. Just shake it up a little. Noodlers does recommend shaking their inks. You have to be careful when you open Noodler's ink because they do fill all the way to the top. They do not want you to waste anything. You can see that color really can gradate quite a bit. Alrighty, and we will use the Thomas Jefferson pen. Actually, my sister was using this pen last night and she loved the way the nib wrote. She was so jealous. She had told me if I ever got rid of the nib for any particular reason to please give it to her. Noodler's Rome Burning. Yeah, sometimes the ink has a distinct purple to it and then dries. Tan. It can be really fun. I love it when it like smudges and you get like this crazy purple streak you weren't expecting. Like it just shows up. So it can be quite entertaining to use. Thomas Jefferson pen from Relic Pens. Number 5, Nib. Like I said, it was a little scratchy. It feels very smooth now. It's quite comfortable. I can get a slightly better angle of me writing with it. Thomas Jefferson, Poplar Forest. Threads well, it closes well. I haven't had any issues with the ink drying out whatsoever. Yeah, I love the ink and the pen, and I love the ink with the pen. Just all around a fantastic experience. Patrick was lovely to deal with on Instagram. I messaged him back and forth about purchasing the pen. He shipped it out right away, and he followed up with me afterwards. So just thank you so much for selling me this pen. Thank you so much for making it. And I hope to purchase in future. So thank you so much for watching. Please check out Relic Pens if you are interested. And thank you so much.